Good afternoon, Mr. Obama. This is one of your 3 million bosses calling you to task. That's right. You are our employee, and it's time you started acting like it instead of living high on the hog like a narcissistic emperor at taxpayers' expense. You've had a pretty sweet ride during the first 4 years, but now, should you be reelected, it's time to get serious and start earning your salary and all those perks you enjoy so much, like Air Force One. So here are some questions for you to consider. Who are you going to blame for the mess you inherited this time? Since your first 4 years involved mostly campaigning and fundraising, now that there is no more need for these things, what experience do you have to draw on to do the job required of a president? You kept trying to blame a video and spontaneous demonstrations for the terrorist attack that resulted in the assassination of our ambassador and 3 other Americans. But did you not notice the signs that were carried by rioters in Egypt and other nations that said, "Obama, Obama, we are all Osamas"? A coffin that was labeled, "The Coffin of Obama." Shouts of, "Death to Obama and America." A sign with your head on the body of a dog and a monkey sitting on our flag. A mannequin of you being burned in effigy. Don't these things sound as if these demonstrations were aimed at you and your policies rather than a video? Are you and your family enrolled in your affordable health care bill? If not, why not? You and Michelle claimed a joint income of $1,795,614 for 2011. So how did you manage to provide vacations for your family that totaled nearly 5 times that amount? Your Christmas trip to Hawaii alone cost $1.5 million, and the trip to India was about $2.5 million. Then there was Michelle's trip to Spain, your daughter's trip to Mexico, and Martha's Vineyard and family vacations, all at a time when millions of American families were losing jobs and having their homes foreclosed. You claim to care about middle-class America, so how do you explain their salaries going down by $5,000 during your time in office? Are you going to continue to waste millions on your green energy program? And will you continue to issue regulations that will stop coal production, that will result in the loss of thousands of jobs and sky-high costs for electricity? Will you finally allow drilling to use the oil reserves we have? Or how do you plan on lowering high gasoline costs? How do you justify using Air Force One for trips that were not always official? Surely you must know that it costs $181,757 per hour to operate Air Force One. Are you going to get a balanced budget done this time around? And will you fulfill your promise to go over it line by line with a scalpel, as you promised in '08? How do you intend to eventually get the 47 million people on food stamps off of them? And what about all those on EBT cards? Was it your idea to provide over 12 million free cell phones to many on welfare, paid for by taking a percentage from the cell phone bills of working Americans? And what action will you take to get 23 million people back to work? Oh, I know you think that raising taxes is the answer for everything. But do you realize that even if you taxed all the rich 100% of all their assets, you would only have enough money to pay for 8 months of government spending? Are you going to keep Holder as the head of the DOJ? Or are you going to appoint someone that is honest and capable? What about all your czars and the millions they are paid? Are you going to get rid of them? Or are they one more way you utilize to circumvent Congress? Will Michelle keep her 20-plus assistants for the next 4 years? Or can she save millions in salaries by just having one or two assistants like most other first ladies? When the Jews inhabited Gaza, it was a great place to live. But after the Palestinians took it over, they destroyed the farms, the vineyards, the factories, and other places the Jews had left intact. Now Gaza has become almost uninhabitable. The majority of Palestinians live on welfare provided by America. Will you continue giving them billions in aid without demanding reforms and that they recognize Israel and stop trying to destroy our main ally? You said you didn't consider Egypt an ally, so why are you intent on continuing to give them billions in aid? Will you deal with the $16 trillion debt by cutting spending, or will you seek to raise the debt ceiling again? Why does the media give you a pass on just about everything? Why are they so eager to keep you in the White House? Now please answer yes or no. Are you going to quit lying to the American people? And lastly, you appear to be very confident that you are going to win this election. What do you know that we don't? And now, Mr. President, please consider this. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations from the beginning of history has been about 200 years. And during this period of time, citizens start to realize that they can get benefits from their government. Then, when the majority of the citizens begin to vote for those candidates who promise the most benefits from the public treasury, the result is the collapse of the nation due to loose fiscal policy. And then a dictatorship comes into being in place of a democracy. During those 200 years, those nations always progress through the following sequence: from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to complacency, from complacency to apathy, from apathy to dependence, from dependence back into bondage. So where are we, the citizens of the United States, in the historically proven life cycle of nations? This video was created by an independent, constitutional, conservative American.